Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, council. I call to order the Haslett City Council meeting this Monday, July 15th, 2024 at 7:01 p.m. There is a quorum present. Before I go to the invocation and pledge of allegiance, I think we've been all struck this weekend by the events that have happened. And I just wanted to say a word. And I don't know who to attribute this to. It was a senator that I heard over the news. And he seemed to couch it very well. At least it resonated with me. In these political endeavors, we need to remember we're opponents. We're not the enemy. I think that was it struck a chord with me to remember that. And that the rhetoric used in these political endeavors sets the tone for these challenges, these elections, whatever the case may be. But after all that's over with, if we remember to resolve to work together for that common good, that's for the people. We don't have to like each other. They don't have to like each other, but they should be professional and set their emotions aside and work together. With that, you'll bow your heads with me and offer the invocation, then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Almighty Father, for your many blessings. You're watching over us and guiding us in all that we do. We thank you for your oversight. We thank you for your guidance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. If you'll stand with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 is citizen participation and comments. Do we have any? Ms. Smith, if you would come to the podium, state your name and address, please.
Sandra Smith, 300 Gamble Street. A couple months ago, I came before you guys with a request and an offer to take a plaque down on a park bench for my father and to, pay for another one to go up. I'd like to modify my
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Do we have any other speakers? Do we have any online? And my monitor is not on. No. Excuse us just a moment. A little IT work here. Okay. Well, you know what? I was a former Marine. There was a saying, improvise and overcome. We're good. Thank you very much. I got it. Thank you. Let's go to item 4, please. Items of community interest. Haslett is hiring. City secretary opening and a parks and ground crew leader. If you know of anyone, please send them our way. They can go to haslett.org and under employment opportunities. Item 5 is administrative report. Council, do you have any questions on the administrative reports? There are none. If we would go to item 6, updates on items, projects, and event recaps. Let me say about the event recap of 4th of July, our Independence Day celebration. It was a great time. As I understand, we had probably 3,000 plus in attendance. I know that the parking was laid out with 360 spaces, and there was 358 in those spaces. So it was well attended. State Representative Nate Schatzline spent the entire evening with us, and there were many compliments about our little park. They just loved it. It was small town Texas Independence Day celebration, and that is what resonates with people. Anyway,
Mayor Halsey,
yes.
may I add to that just a little bit on the aspect of the, I also want to do a shout out, and I meant to do it a little bit earlier, to the fire department. Because from what I've heard, our fire department had to actually go all the way to Parker County over the 4th of July. This whole interlocal agreement of the people going different places has really been working, and I just wanted to give a shout out to our fire department.
Well, very good. You're right. And let me say is, for that event, I need to, and thank you for bringing that up, is to our Parks Board, our Special Events Coordinator, Katrina White. He's a master at this. All with the underpinning and help with Public Works and James Tucker here, the Public Works Director. Mike Thetford, our Building Services Director, and the Fire Department, Tarrant County Sheriff's Officer, Tarrant County Constables. Am I leaving anybody out right now? Plus all the vendors and other staff members that come in attendance to help and roll up their sleeves and go to work. It's a long event. I thoroughly enjoy it, but I'll tell you what, at 10 o'clock, I'm glad it's over so I can go home. But it was a great event. A lot of effort goes into that, but it was very successful. On projects, 6A, tennis court security system. I have my notes here, and here we are. Thank you. The cameras have been installed. Currently, the view angles are being adjusted. The court reserve system software is in hand, and it is being configured. We got one other element to link in, and that is the automatic gate locking system. And the present status of that is the contract has been sent back to the vendor. There's slight modifications that need to be made upon review by legal, but it should be no issue. And then that will be installed, and hopefully here in the near future, matter of weeks, that we can report this as being up and running. Our next item let me go to the audiovisual system. That one's easy. I'll come back to 6B. Audiovisual system, I am so happy to announce that this is scheduled for installation from August 26th, which is a Monday, through September the 1st. They need a full week, 7 days. And all meetings, events that have been scheduled for this room will be canceled so that they have full access without interruption. And that was solidified this afternoon and confirmed. Let's go to TRA, that's Trinity River Authority. Easement acquisition having to do with sanitary sewer line projects going throughout the city, primarily on the north end of town here. Property owners have been contacted, and there's been also good communication established, and that's ongoing. And hopefully within a couple of weeks, we can wrap that up. I will report at the next council meeting status as well, but up until a week ago, there was the difficulty contacting several, and those contacts have been made. So, go to King's Barbecue. No permits have been applied for. Engineering and Public Works have responded to the surveyor's site plan and sent the information back, but that was within the last week. But again, they have been cleared to pull permits for over a month now, and no permits have been requested. Project 4x4, that is a code name, and we'll keep it as such right then. I can't tell you too much about it. Maybe in a month or so I can, but that is moving along, and all excited about what will be happening there. Progress is being made on all these. Hassett Parkway construction project. Well, for several months I've been telling you, it's kind of, well, we're waiting for TxDOT, North Central Texas Council of Government, and to give us a path forward on this project. It had been complicated, and the project deadline or progress had been greatly affected by the relocation or non-relocation of utilities. They just weren't able to get out of the way. Construction cannot commence, and that is on phase 2. That's for the remainder of it. Until all those utilities and utility poles are out of the way. I took it upon myself to make an appointment and did meet with Federal Highway Authority, Fort Worth District in Austin, Texas. I met with them last week, Wednesday, and met with the leadership team and described the project. They were very helpful. They gave me some guidance. We have a path forward now. I'll be bringing that in a more formal way to the council for your review and ultimately approval. So we do have a path forward now. The grant deadline, Federal Highway Authority grant deadline had been in that project is December 31st, 2024. 4 months and a few weeks from now. There's anywhere from 1.5 to 2+ years of work yet to be done. There's no way that we had a prayer to recover. And though I started that process maybe 11 months ago, as I reminded the council about that date. So there comes a time and we have to address things ourselves. So I'm happy in that there is a path forward. I was given some guidance from the Federal Highway Authority. I have spoken already this afternoon. We had a meeting with North Central Texas Council of Governments and TxDOT. And I relayed that information and described to them what that path forward is. And they are on board with that. We're going to formalize these because it affects different agreements. But I just wanted to report that we are no longer waiting. We have a path forward. Okay. I believe I've addressed all 6. If we could go to item 7, the consent agenda. Council?
Mayor Holsey,
Yes.
like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Motion is made to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a second?
Mayor Halsey, I second.
There's a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. Let's go to 8, public hearings, ordinances, resolution, action items. 8A, discuss, consider, and act on approving public services contract extension, addendum number 6. Our contract expires in a few months. And we need to, in lieu of rebidding this, because Republic Services has been with us, we have had this agreement, and it's under various, I think, 2 different company names, for maybe 20 years, close to it, somewhere in there. But, and yes, in recent months, over the last year, we've had, there's some challenges that have come up. But what we'd like to do is extend this for a year, and we'll work through these challenges. If need be, then we will go out to bid. Ms. Harwell, you want to say anything to the council? Ms. Jerry Harwell, she's our account manager from Republic Services.
And he is now the small container supervisor, which covers Haslett. And so I thought Haslett was a good council meeting to introduce him to how the whole part of the rest of my job goes. We are honestly very proud of the fact that we have been partners with the city of Haslett as long as we have. I've had family here. I've still got friends here. So this contract has always been very personal for me. When the challenges that were going on were brought to my attention, then I started looking for solutions. And now that I know what's going on, then I can continue to work on all of those solutions. But I believe that we have been good partners all these years, and I think we'll be able to overcome that. So that's my desire, and I just want to say thank you for all the years that we have, and for at least taking this time to give us the opportunity to make it right.
Thank you very much. And I've known this young man for a long time and remember when he was 3 or 4 feet high. You're a pretty big man now. All right then, council. So this extension is for a year. Is the same terms, which is inclusive of the contract agreed upon. I believe it's a 3% annual increase. But it gives us the opportunity to go forward.
Mayor Halsey, I did have a question. If a citizen does have an issue, like one of these, something comes up, what's their proper recourse? They call the city, they call Republic? How do they?
They should call the city, and the city will contact Republic. That would be the proper course.
Okay.
And more specifically, Sabina, last name, pronounce Duschler is that person.
Mayor Halsey,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the continuation for 1 year of the Republic Services contract extension.
Motion is made to continue to extend the contract extension for 1 year. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you very much, council. Thank you, Ms. Harwell. Item 8B, discuss, consider, and act regarding the Clear Channel Outdoor Advertising Agreement. As you know, several months ago, council, you approved a ordinance to allow digital signage to very specific locations, actually one digital sign and one print sign along I-35. There were 3 older signs, much older, I think 30 or 40 years old signs, but this replaces those. And if you'll scroll down again, here's the locations that those sites will have been approved via ordinance. If you will continue again, that's what it's being replaced with. Be very attractive. And this agreement stipulates what can and cannot, or what cannot, more appropriately, what cannot be advertised. Have Ms. Moore here from Clear Channel.
Hi, I'm Teresa Moore with Clear Channel Outdoor. If you have any questions about the letter agreement, that was about 3 pages up. It just discusses the fact that we will honor community standards when we are accepting advertising, and if we are not understanding of if there's anything outside of what's written here that doesn't meet community standards, we are happy to remove that if you give us a call. So this outlines specifics, but it's not limited to these things. And then it also addresses the donated space that we'll be giving the city to advertise city events, hiring, any kind of initiative that the city would like to advertise on the digital.
Very good. Council, do you have any questions of myself or Ms. Moore or Mr. Page? Mr. Page has reviewed all of this.
And just as further background, when we adopted the ordinance, part of the requirements was for Clear Channel to, or whoever was going to operate and own the billboards, to come in and enter into agreement for that operations to memorialize the language in the ordinance and to include all the various requirements that we couldn't quite put into the ordinance. So all of these restrictions on what can and cannot be advertised is contained here. And so that's the reason why we're here tonight and why this agreement is before you.
I have a question. What's the probability of these signs getting hacked and somebody putting out a message that's not approved by you guys or by the city?
I'm glad you asked. We monitor our digital signs 24 hours with a third-party security team, and so they are constantly, they're being vigilant with their eyes on the advertisements constantly. Plus, we have a very rigorous cybersecurity team within Clear Channel that has developed software to prevent that from happening. And knock wood, it's not happened. We've been operating digital across the country and in other countries since 2008, and we haven't had any instances of hacking. So unlike, I think a lot of times the digitals that are temporary on the side of the road are susceptible because their software is contained within the sign that's there and it's accessible. Our software is operated it's connected to the sign, but the software is also controlled by satellite elsewhere. So it's separate. It does communicate, but the security is multi-pronged.
Any discussion? If none, I would entertain a motion, please.
Mayor Halsey,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Clear Channel outdoor advertising agreement.
Motion is made to approve the Clear Channel outdoor advertising agreement. Is there a second?
Mayor Halsey, I second.
There is a second. Any further discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you, council. Thank you, Ms. Moore. Item 9, executive session. City Council reserves the right to adjourn into executive session during the course of the meeting to seek legal advice from its attorney regarding any item on the posted agenda as authorized by Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Additionally, pursuant to the provision of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, City Council may adjourn an executive session in accordance with the authority contained in, again, Section 551.071 Government Code, consultation with attorney, pending contemplated litigation, settlement offer, or to seek advice from city attorney. This is on roadway failures and right-of-way acquisition. So at this time, it is 7:29, so I recess the open meeting, and if you would meet me in the boardroom, then we will continue with executive session. And it is 7:29. Thank you. All right, well, thank you. We ready? All right. I resume the open meeting. It is 8:01 p.m. All the council are present. Item 10, there's no items to take action on out of the executive session. Item 11, future agenda items. We'll have Haslett Parkway and City Properties mowing contract. The TCSO ILA revision, and that was, again, as revising our existing contract so that we have, in lieu of 6 deputies, we would have 8. Fully expect, I'll have it in the budget to have 11. That's inclusive of this. So it'd be an additional 2 plus a full-time supervisor. The Tarrant County ILA Blue Mountain Road West Road Repair, all that is intent to have, I'll be bringing to the council. You've got to authorize is placing this on the November election as a bond to improve and widen Blue Mountain Road east and west. Even if it's approved, that will take quite some time to get the engineering done, go out to bid, and construction start. In lieu of waiting another year or two, probably about 2, before anything starts moving out there, is to get an ILA with Tarrant County to go ahead and rebuild Blue Mountain Road as it is west from the railroad tracks to 156. That is the most dire piece right now. And also there's a couple patches on the east side that will do the that work as well. At best, at what Public Works can do is we can do emergency repairs. But this will be a permanent repair and awaiting for the new construction, should the voters approve that bonds. Item 12 is adjourned, council, unless you got any questions.
Agenda items, when are we going to start discussing the budget timeframes and that?
August, here, I got, and that'll be sent out here soon, but we'll have a workshop on August the 10th, Saturday, all day. And then the following Saturday, August 17th, all day. Yes, sir. We just solidified that here in the last day. And we're all very busy, crunching a lot of numbers. We'll bring you a good budget for you to review, building on our progress. Any other questions? If I can have a motion to adjourn.
Mayor Halsey, I move to adjourn.
Motion is made to adjourn. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you, council.